tell you a story about a day that I remember very well. It was Wednesday, the 6th of June, 2018. A day when everything crashed and I saw the business that I've built over the last 10 years bankrupt and myself ruined. A subcontractor that we've hired to get the job done for us canceled the job in the last minute and left me alone with all the work. At this time, we had to migrate 8,000 web pages. 8,000 web pages is a workload of approximately 1,300 hours. And we just had 4 days left. Who in the world can migrate 8,000 web pages over the weekend? And how can I save my business and myself? But first of all, let me give you a little bit of context on everything. I became an entrepreneur because I want to be free. I want to be independent and do something meaningful. I want to do work that has a positive impact on my personal life, on the life of my employees, and for my clients. So I started as a freelancer in 2006 developing websites. In 2011, I founded my digital agency. And until January 2018, I was able to grow my company to 40 local people. And in June 2018, the whole organization became shaky and tumble. 2 projects were in a terrible state and crashed on my desk. We had project risks of 500,000 euros that would ruin my company and myself. We tried to find help with our local team, but we couldn't. In one project, an employee that was critical for the project's success got another offer in a company for a higher salary, and he just left. He didn't even care about his commitment. I was highly disappointed, I was sad, and I felt helpless. As I mentioned in the beginning, in another project, we had to migrate these 8,000 web pages in 3.5 months. We tried to find help with a local partner, but we couldn't. Then I decided to go with a nearshoring company in Eastern Europe, a company that claimed to be experts for content migration. I was talking to an account manager in this company, and they promised me to deliver everything in 3 months. After 3 months, and I had no transparency about what's happening behind the scenes, they canceled the contract without delivering anything. Pressure increased dramatically because suddenly my timeline had shortened from 3.5 months to 3.5 weeks. I had no idea how I can save my project with these huge penalties. And I simply just had the option to find another company that owned many more people that could scale and migrate my 8,000 pages in 3.5 weeks. I told my wife that this is the last chance. If we can't get it done with this approach, we will fail. So I went for it. I had Rohit, the account manager, as my contact person. He was the one that managed the resources in this company. He knew exactly what he needs to tell me that I feel positive and comfortable in that situation. He was also the person that was responsible to manage me as a client. He was nice and he was kind, but he was not honest and not transparent. He simply had his own interest in doing this project with me, but I was desperate. So I gave him the job. They started working, and every day they presented me 10 pages that had been migrated. And I felt positive and I was full of hope that they get it done in time. I just completely ignored the fact that 10 pages compared to 8,000 pages is not representative at all. I trusted the account manager, and I trusted blindly. And to be honest, hope was the only thing that kept me up these days. And then, the 6th of June, 2018 happened. At 5:28 in the morning, I received this message. Hey, I have to put the project on hold as of now and will be canceling the project after discussing with you. Let me know when available. What the fuck? This was an emotional nightmare. At 6 in the morning, my wife came down the stairs. She was pregnant at this time. And I had to tell her, Sarah, we are ruined. It didn't work out. I still remember it so vividly. I saw my company bankrupt, my wife with a baby that I can't feed anymore, and the dream of my life of being an independent and free entrepreneur fading away before my eyes. At the same time, my local team was burning out from that situation and the immense pressure. So I also had to care about that. At this point, and after 2 disappointments, one thing was very clear to me. I never want an intransparent partner. No account managers, no salespeople, no hiding anymore, no intransparency, and no lack of control. How can I find 25 people that are motivated, transparent, skilled, and have the time to help me with my project? And how can I establish a system that provides me with full transparency and control in my project? I thought to myself that there must be people all around the globe that have the time and the skills and the motivation to help me. And I had read studies at this time about virtual teams, about virtual organizations and fluid organizations, all organizations of freelancers that work independent, self-determined, and that decide with whom they work and how much they work. But also people that I never saw, people that I don't know, strangers from far away. That idea seemed far away from reality, but going bankrupt was even more unthinkable. I just had 4 days left, and if I wouldn't try, I would fail anyway. So I went for it. And I was lucky, first time in my project. I met a project manager, a freelancer from Canada, now living in Barcelona. Her name was Janet, and Janet had 20 years of experience with managing virtual teams. She knew other recruiters from previous jobs that could help me to find and assess freelancers that were experts for quality assurance and content migration. At the same time, I prepared an onboarding video, and I set up a cloud-based project management tool where I put one task for every page that requires migration so that it will be processed over an 8-step quality assurance workflow that gives me full control and full transparency. And with these recruiters, I was able to scale my workforce whenever I see that we are too slow. At the same day, Janet and the recruiters were able to staff me a team of 23 people, all freelancers, no account managers anymore. Those were people from all over the world that committed to working 14 hours every day over the weekend. People that even canceled their private appointments over the weekend and were fully committed to helping me. It was an immense pressure on the one side, but it was a great and free and releasing feeling on the other side. And of course, there were people that left during the project. But that was okay. We were able to replace them by 3 others within an hour. They were free and independent, and I was the same. This was the board where I put all these 8,000 pages as a task and that I was watching 18 hours every day because my team was working 24 hours every day all around the globe in different time zones. I saw cards moving over the board and I had full transparency and control instead of being helpless and trusting blindly. And then Monday came. And at almost 4 p.m. in the afternoon, all pages were migrated. Mission completed. Now imagine how that feels. Instead of going bankrupt, I was able to fulfill my contract and deliver to my client with a last-minute virtual team of people that I never met before. One should think that I partied all night, but instead I fell asleep for 2 days. When I woke up, one thing was very clear to me. Work can be different. Work can be free and without limits. And work can be done by people that like their job. Work can be independent and self-determined, and work can be done by people that even see their job as something positive in their lives. During that time, I decided to use this experience as the cornerstone of everything and completely rebuild my company in the next 6 months. During that time, I removed everything that put a limit on us. In 2018, I fired 20 people. That was 50% of our team. And I know that most of them still hate me today. But change is hard, and change requires decision, and change can't be found in your comfort zone. So I hired another freelancer, an HR manager from Serbia. Her name is Natalia. Together with Janet and Natalia, I was able to grow my organization to 150 people in 6 months. 6 months before, it took me 7 years to scale my company to 40 people. And now all it took was 6 months, and we had people from all around the world working with us. All freelancers again, no account managers, no salespeople, no average skill people, only experts that are free to decide when they work, how much they work, with whom they work, and for which salary they want to work. It's like a breathing and living organization full of people that are free and committed to get work done whenever there is some. With this approach, we were able to scale our workforce far beyond my imagination. Meanwhile, we've delivered over 40,000 hours in virtual teams with people from over 66 countries in the world. And even better, there are people from countries that finally got a chance in life by participating on the global economy simply by working over the internet. And even better, nobody hates me anymore if I stop working with them because I have to. And nobody is helpless and disappointed anymore if they stop working with us. Instead, we appreciate each other for being honest and transparent. So, when I look back at the experience that I just shared with you, it is obvious that all these troubles were caused by 3 main things. First thing, different interests of everyone participating. Just remember the account manager. Second thing, the lack of control and the lack of transparency to see and solve problems when they appear. And the third thing is a local team that is limited in capacity and skills and cannot scale when there is a huge amount of work at an unexpected time. After going through all of that, I never want to make the same experience again, so I decided to set my whole organization free. I introduced radical transparency about everything. We have open and self-determined salaries. People are free to take as many holidays as they want. People can see my salary, they see the financial statements, and they can see the profit and loss of the company in every month. With this transparency, we are able to see and solve problems when they appear as a team. Nobody's hiding anymore, and we have no lack of control and transparency anymore, even in our local team. And all these things came up with an unexpected nightmare where I had to work with virtual teams that showed me how work can be different. And there's only one simple rule now in our company for any decision and any action: act fairly and economically. This means keep the economical balance of your interest, the interest of your clients, and the interest of your organization you are working in aligned. This experience and seeing what's possible changed the way I think about work and life completely. Now, what should we do? When you go out and leave this talk, Reduce hierarchies and increase transparency in your workplace. Make flexibility your topmost priority instead of limiting yourself with a focus on problems, risks, and security. Digitalization, cloud technology, artificial intelligence, and a globally accessible workforce of virtual teams will change the way we work completely. Opportunities are out there, more than anyone can imagine. So embrace the unexpected and make work without limits your driver for freedom. Thank you.